So I'm headed out to a job site, conveniently only about 10 minutes away from our shop. Make a quick little hop over there. We've got about 100 feet of French drain going in. Pretty typical little install with us, but happy to share with you guys. So we're gonna get on over there and check things out. So just pulling up, this French drain's actually gonna be a dual purpose. We've got a French drain going in that generally your top surface ends up being some sort of stone. So this one right now we've got as a 3/4 top layer. That being said, we're actually going to dual purpose this one and put in a walkway. It's kind of conveniently in a spot that's going to connect a back patio to a front walkway. So we're actually going to finish that off, make it look like a walkway, and you know, nobody will ever know that there's actually a drain under there. So it'll be pretty sweet. About to have a bit of a fun situation here because we're supposed to have like a 3-foot deep drain, and instead we've got a rock that comes from here about 10 feet this way. Still got a rock, and also probably about 2 feet deep at this point, and we still haven't found the bottom of it, so this will be exciting. So other small to win this morning is we had this entire creek bed cleaned out. It was actually buried pretty much. You hardly knew it was here if you just drove by. Got it all cleaned out, looking nice and pretty. Really makes that bridge stand out pretty well. So I realize I can't just leave you guys hanging there. That boulder is still in the ground. We're hopefully going to get out there today. It's actually the next day right now, so I'm hoping we're going to get out there with track hoe. Hopefully that boulder's soft enough that we can scratch through it as opposed to pulling the whole thing out. But we're gonna see what happens to that boulder and get this drain put in. So this stuff right here is our biggest secret. Now, it's not a secret in any means. You can buy it at any hardware store, but this landscape fabric will keep all of the dirt from washing into your drain from the freshly cut trench that we have just dug. A lot of people skip this step, and what happens is, just like this job, we're actually looking at a French drain that was previously installed right next to the one we're putting in now, which was finished with soil with no landscape fabric, and has since clogged up and is no longer functional. So this is going to keep this drain up and functional a lot longer and a lot better than the previous drain that we're competing with. So I'm going to pause this for a quick 2 seconds. The original French drain was running up against the base of the foundation of the house, in between that and the 2 air conditioning units. So what that does is that's actually holding all of the moisture directly up against the foundation of the house, when the sole purpose of a French drain is to pull water away from the foundation of the house. So this is actually completely counterproductive. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this French drain I'd say about 5 feet off of the base of the house here. And we're going to slope all of the soil from the foundation of the house towards the drain and then from the bank towards the drain, giving a nice funnel for all the moisture to come into the French drain you see here.
Perforated pipe is to allow water to move into the pipe and back out of the pipe. So this is the most misallocated pipe. It's installed inappropriately, the most commonly out of any drain material that I see. Perforated pipe is here simply to put in a French drain to serve as an emergency exit route for the water that builds up in the French drain. I see these installed improperly in scenarios where they're attached to downspouts, where the water would flow from a downspout straight into this. In that case, this pipe would simply release that water back into the ground, which is going to saturate a foundation if that's done beside a foundation. So attaching this to a downspout is incorrect. Attaching the perforated pipe to a downspout is incorrect. If water is contained in a solid pipe, it should remain in a solid pipe as far out as you can get it away from the house or the structure. The perforated pipe is made to put in French drains, and so the French drain is a channel that's dug into the ground, a ditch if you will, that's filled with gravel, and the perforated pipe is put in the bottom of the gravel trench. That way when the water flows into the trench, it's trying to weave its way between the gravel pieces to find its way out. Well, if a high volume of water finds its way into that French drain trench, and all of the water can't find its way through the gravel particulates, then some of the water can fill this passageway and it will travel through this passageway out to the exit of the drain like a superhighway. And so that's what the purpose of the perforated pipe is.
Go for it.
So we've got solid 4-inch pipe and a perforated 4-inch pipe. The solid 4-inch pipe's carrying the water from the downspout here. We're going to carry it all the way out because there's no reason for us to exit the water that's already contained into the French drain. And then we have the perforated 4-inch pipe, which is maintaining the void for the water to flow in that pipe, because we're about to fill this with gravel. So when we fill this with gravel, the gravel is going to take up all that space and make it so we can walk on this, but there's still the channels and areas for the water to move between the pieces of gravel. But if it's a huge amount of rain, if we have a big rain event, then there's going to be so much water come into the French drain that it might not all flow through the gravel as fast. So that perforated pipe is there for the water to settle in that pipe and then run downward in that unrestricted cavity that is the perforated drain pipe. That is the point of having the perforated drain pipe. So this is our solid downspout connection. The old downspout connection went into an old terracotta pipe. That's very obsolete. It's 40 years old. So we're putting the new 4-inch perforated line in the ditch line. We're taking the 4-inch solid and we're going to connect it to this downspout. So we're waiting on a downspout coupling sleeve right now to go on this 4-inch downspout and then connect to this 4-inch drain line. We'll add some carpentry screws into the sides of this to hold it together, and then we're going to fill this channel with gravel. So what this should do for us is the water that's been flowing down this hill has been encountering this crawl space of this 100-year-old house. The water's created channels underneath the crawl space. So we've put in a barrier, a moat, or a perimeter French drain, if you will, that is at the lowest point possible. I really hate to put a French drain close to a house or on the corner of a house like this, but in this situation, I had no other choice. I had to put the French drain here so that it would collect the water that builds up on this patio, because there's no exit for the patio water either. And so at this corner, it was the only point that I could collect the water off this patio without that water being forced to go under the house. So that's why I put the French drain so close to the house here. So the water's going to fall into this French drain and primarily run through the gravel down to the exit around the house. However, the water that's coming down in this downspout, I'm going to keep it contained in pipe and put it into the 4-inch solid pipe. because it would not make sense to turn the water loose into a French drain next to a foundation if I have the option of using the solid pipe to take it all the way out.
So I'm going to wrap things up there. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already in order to see how that project turns out. The walkway is going to be absolutely gorgeous. And with that, I'm going to wrap things up, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.